And yeah, definitely more stash tabs. I would love if it's just extra 3. If they do a pluggy situation, give you 100, I'd be fine with that too in some way. So yeah, a bunch of different changes, and really, I would kind of be with extra stash tabs and like a one currency tab where it's just like, here's how many L runes you have. You know, you have 17 L runes, 32 Eth runes. You know, 47 Zod runes because I find so many of them. You know.
Zod Master, yeah. So we're kind of delving into a rabbit hole here about like the currency tab. So if I can give my opinion on this one, sort of, and again in the comments, tell me if you think I'm way off base.
That's why you're here.
Hey, right on. Thank you, man. So the stackable currency, I'm a huge advocate for, but the argument is, I think from most people that I see is, let's say I had a stack of 10 Burr runes because you found 10 Burr runes, right? So you had a stack of 10 Burr runes, and somebody dupes that. The stackable currency makes it easy for us to just dupe it. So that's not a good thing. We don't want to do that. So there's no currency tab. But if you're like architect, if you're an architect for a database and all this jazz, every single Burr rune that Phil drops or Barricade drops or whoever drops, it has an ID number to it, right? So if you have an array, a list of different ID'd Burr runes, that already exists. And when you try to duplicate and submit that to a database, it should say, hey, wait a sec, that already exists, and poof the IDs. So if we could construct this in the way that works, don't we all just win? Like, we have to change the way that it is. It's not going to be the same. Do you agree with that to some degree? Like, let me know your thoughts are there.
That they should be able to architect it so that each Burr rune has its own specific ID you're talking about, so it should poof and stuff like that.
Yeah, so that should, but it's not going to be what it is today. Like, to make what we're looking for, things have to change to suit the need that we want, right?
Okay.
And so in that restructuring, I think that it'd be possible to maybe look at that problem and solve it before it ever was a problem, right? Shut the door, like you're saying, shut the door before you can even have that issue. I think so. What do you think?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that duping issue, it does kind of come with the stackable runes, and that's why kind of more of the currency page would be more of the way I would go, and there could be something I could be overlooking, obviously, I don't know everything in the world, but if you have the currency page, it's just a picture of the rune with a number next to it. So, I mean, I guess someone could hack and figure out how to change that number, but you couldn't, like, take that and, like, dupe it in the any method that I'm kind of like semi-aware of, but so
let's nip it in the bud, right? If you go like, hey, I got a stack, you can't just trade a stack. You can pull out of the stack and trade 1-to-1.
Yeah.
And that way we see what they're, so you have Burr number 001, I got 002, and we just trade. And now I have 001, you guys so we can make that happen. And these guys are like, this is their job, right? They should do this in their sleep. So they should have this solved, right? So it should be possible. Yeah.
And even if there are some exploits, I kind of, some of the other podcast guests I've had on, and I agree with what they said, that you shouldn't really, make all of your decisions based around some bad actors, right? Like, you can't not have candy bars because people steal candy bars. You try to figure it out. So
that's a good line. Yeah, that's good.
So just because someone's gonna misuse something, it doesn't mean you can't have it for the people that are gonna use it correctly or whatever. So, yo fellas, this is a new channel, so double check and make sure you're subscribed up.